Alright, so to start off day 3, we hear someone open a door in the hallway next to us, so we pop in Viz to scout and immediately prepare a fireball for the scared barbarian and lead the shot up the stairs where he's fleeing, and pursue him with a follow-up blast as we start the chase. Before committing to a sharp corner versus a possible axe to the brain, we reapply haste and invis, and choose not to precast so we don't drop our cloak. Pushing into the doorway, we realize it's a 1v2 and try to pick off the barbarian. Unfortunately for us, as Cleric topped him off, we switched to the minigun and use an FPS peek to focus the Cleric, as they are the priority. We fall back to maintain our buffs to make positioning easier, and as the Barbarian jumped to pursue where he thought I was fleeing, we pushed the Cleric to take him out of the fight. I should have stepped forward a bit here. As we finish off the Cleric, we hear the Barbarian rapidly approaching from the staircase as he rejoins the fight, and our haste is about to drop. And choose to hit him with the Invis Misdirect to make him slow on the draw as we finish things off with our magics. My duo and I entered a high roller lobby for the first time together, and our first contact was spotted across this high tier loot room. It was unknown if we were dealing with a group, so we popped Blue Pot and haste to begin pursuing. Seeing our enemy was using a bow, we throw in a crouch with a strafe to reduce the odds of getting hit, and jump over the railing to ensure that our cast wouldn't clip on the handrail. In any extended chases, you want to make sure that you're maintaining uptime of your buffs, especially haste on the front line of your team, to maximize your likelihood of success. We've realized that it's a solo ranger, so we put away the fireball cast to avoid team damage, as our fighter has the fight under control, and we turn away our magic missile while also canceling it to minimize the friendly fire. Later in the same high roller lobby, we approach the throne room and hear a team begin opening this door. So we back off and prepare with the standard setup. We use the boxes here to cast our buffs without risk of getting shot, and we cloak to create a cross angle on the door so the ranger can't peek us for free. We begin the fight by trying to pepper the enemy with fireballs, and we turn our body as we feel the ranger is about to fire to expose our arms to potentially turn a chest shot into a limb shot. Against rangers, it's important to mix up your movement to be unpredictable by adding jumps, crouches, and strafes to your movement. As a wizard, it is your lifeblood to be precisely aware of your spells at all times, to know when you may need to slow things down, or even retreat to maintain as large of a threat to the enemy as possible. Fireball, or an AoE spell, should be your primary use at the start to potentially damage the entire team and create an advantage. When enemies have a number advantage, whether you're solo or duo, it's better to not do damage with your AoE spells rather than damage both your teammate and the enemy. If you hit or kill both your ally and the enemy, it's still a 1v2, so you're at a disadvantage. Plus, you also have the IRL 1v1 that you'll have to fight after the match ends. Mobs in this game are aggressive towards players who have either gotten too close or have the highest threat, which is determined by damage. I damage the Wraith as the Cleric moves out of the way of my barrage, so I use invisibility to remove aggro and send the Wraith careening back onto our enemies. It's important to note that your cast can be easily interrupted by terrain or just things blocking the line of path of the spear.
Killed zombies over here. Good one. Like fireball the trap or something.
So fast.
I'll haste you. I just hasted him. I'm gonna bonk him. Yep.
My duo hears enemies nearby while I was meditating, so we get up and push towards the sound while prepping Blue Pot and haste for the fight.
Haste active.
As we round the corner, I always try to precast my spells to have them ready for release the moment I see the enemy.
Have fireball ready.
I was showing trigger discipline here at first. Could have switched off to magic missile earlier to be outputting some damage. After the previous fight, I was finishing off a skeletal mage when I spotted a new team. I began casting a fireball, but think better of it, and seeing the ranger, decided to use the wall as cover to release a fireball at a lesser risk to myself, and then back off to properly prep the fight. I communicate my status to my teammate so they can understand the timing of when I'll join the fight, and we push with fireball ready. We see the fighter pushing in, and make a split decision to switch to magic missile instead to focus the Cleric, as they are the priority in team fights, and then switch back to fireball focus once my fighter is in danger close. As our front line backs up, we're able to get a great value from hitting both at the same time, and I know my duo is going to push their fighter, so I aim my next shot at the ranger to be efficient, so we can just push and clean up the fight.
Where you going, huh? Where? Back where we...
My duo and I joined another high roller lobby, and we're taking our time clearing this toxic room to test the better loot, when my fighter heard a duo approaching from the nearby spawn.
Like up
I pop a blue pot in case they have a
Oh, I
bow
see.
user, and then
He's
approach.
up top, right? I can't get to him.
I see them hesitate when they notice my fighter pushing them, and utilize the wall as a backboard to shoot a direct fireball, and even if it misses, the splash AoE will still damage them.
Fireballing, careful.
Oh, okay. He's dead.
Later in the same high roller lobby, I
Players
spot
over here,
enemies
players
through
over
this door, so we clear the ads off of
Yeah,
us and prep
spiders
and
coming
push.
Alright, spot. I'm gonna give you haste.
If you have your buffs up on you as a solo or your team, using Fireball to blow open a door enemies have closed is useful to not have them expire when opening the door to
Hold right,
keep
hold right,
chase.
hold right.
Sometimes team damage is unavoidable, and the fight gets turned on us, so we attempt to create some space. The fighter gets taken out by their ranger, so we try to finish off their front line before the cleric can heal them to full again. If you know someone's low, it's better to finish them off rather than just flee because you took some amount of damage, because then it takes at least one person out of the fight.
Oh, fuck. Please don't kill me with my fire.
The enemy team must have been low because they didn't immediately pursue me, and we were able to get back into a decent fighting position and begin to apply pressure.
I'm out of spells. Did he die? I think he died.
Someone near you.
As we try to move towards the zone, we hear one team through this door and then spot another across from us.
Exactly.
We try to move back to go around, and we end up getting clipped by a
Ow.
long shot fireball, and thankfully we find a surgical kit to get us back in
He
the
has
game.
such good gear.
With the zone on our heels, we grab the essentials from our
Is that a
duo
wizard?
and start hightailing it to zone.
He's a wizard. Yep. Where's your stuff?
Real good.
What's up?
Yeah, I think it was good.
I look to go to a direct path and notice that I'm going to get zone camped if I push through this door, so I bail and flank around, as I was also low on spells and couldn't confidently push into a 1vx fight. I squeeze in to meditate and keep moving as the swarm timer is getting close and I'm desperately looking for a way out. I see a skeletal mage and a duo and peek at the door to the throne room if it's an option, but that duo might take my only blue portal, so sometimes you just have to go in. Utilizing movement mix-up definitely saves my life here, and the ranger ends up dying to the mobs chasing after him. But I don't have enough time to heal because they decide to chase me, and I keep on the move until I find a safe blue portal.
Please. Salvation.
Oh. Duck. Yes.
My duo and I spawn into a high roller lobby in the northwest corner of this map and spot the enemy team across from us, so we decide to take this path on the screen. As we approach the shut door, I reapply buffs and then we sink it. They get a good hit on my duo, but trying to run away puts them into a perfect position for us to fireball the whole team. We focus the cleric in the backline to prevent them from full healing their allies, and then maintain spacing with the fighter until we clean up. We actually killed the wizard here with the magic missile. It just showed off screen, and the rogue ended up fleeing the scene while we meditated.
Rogue showed up.
Immediately after entering the pyramid room, another team appears when we aren't fully topped off on spells. So I switched to the defensive when the barbarian was able to get close using his invis from the wizard, and focused on keeping my haste up so I can keep a comfortable amount of space between us while I try to kite. Tag the enemy wizard with chain lightning and know they're both low and could potentially push them, but I don't want to commit to a high risk play when my duo's gear is in my pockets. We back off and start the healing process and consider a flanking option when I hear portals rising somewhere in the mummy room, so I decide to go ahead and get out while I can so I can reset and go again with my duo. As we're pushing near the throne room, we see a mummy get shot, so we prepare the standard way and get vision on what we're dealing with. I know that many players aren't comfortable pushing through axe traps, so we try to use that to our advantage to begin poking the enemy. As I cloak, we turn away and crouch to ensure the enemy doesn't get lucky, and then dance through the trap looking for an opportunity. We manage to land a direct hit, which we know means they're hanging on by a thread, so we give chase as they attempt to flee, to no avail. I precast another fireball, ready for the rest of the 1v3, but it seems that they abandoned their friend in his time of need. Keeping tabs on my low spell count and full pockets, I decide to just take my W and look for the closest blue portal. Oh, there they are. And it's easy to posture like that.
Just abandoned him.
You're not going to do anything because they know I'm going to leave. For anyone who played Wizard in this playtest, you may have encountered the notorious spell selection bug, where the radio wheel doesn't go away and you can't turn your character, which is what happened to me here. After killing one, we back off to reset, and I remember a bit of loading screen advice that actually came in handy for once.
I took the guy's portal.